Welcome back to Mailbox Corner, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of mail and package delivery. I'm your host, Jake, and with me, as always, is the ever-curious Emily. How are you today, Emily?
I'm doing great, Jake. Excited as always to unravel another mystery of the postal world. What's on the docket for today?
Today, we're tackling a topic that's puzzled many of us at one point or another. Have you ever tracked a package and noticed it was item processed multiple times?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those updates that makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. Why does it appear so often, and what exactly does it mean?
Exactly, and that's what we're diving into today. Item processed is a common Canada Post tracking status that sparks a lot of curiosity among recipients, especially when it pops up multiple times during transit.
So, what does Canada Post mean by item processed? It sounds pretty straightforward, but I have a feeling there's more to it.
You're right, Emily. When Canada Post says item processed, it means the package has been inspected, sorted, and scanned at one of their many facilities. This status can appear at various stages: when the package is first received from the sender, when it's sorted at another facility mid-journey, and even when it's taken to the destination facility and scanned for routing to the recipient.
That makes sense. So, depending on how far the package has to travel, we might see the status update more than once. It's not just a one-time thing.
Exactly. And to give our listeners a real-world example, we once tracked a package that received 4 item-processed scans before it finally arrived. It's a normal part of the process, especially for packages traveling long distances.
Interesting. It's like getting a sneak peek into the journey of our packages. But I can't help but wonder, what happens when a package seems stuck on item processed for days? What could be causing that delay?
That's a great question, and it's something many of us have experienced. There are several reasons why a package might linger on that status. For starters, backlogs at Canada Post facilities, especially during peak delivery times, can cause delays.
Ah! The dreaded backlog. It's like being stuck in traffic, but for packages. They've been processed, but just can't move forward because of the queue.
Exactly. And sometimes inclement weather plays a role. If it's not safe for staff to load packages onto delivery vehicles, they'll have to wait until conditions improve.
Makes sense. Safety first, after all. But what about issues with the tracking itself? Could that be why the status doesn't update?
Definitely. Sometimes the tracking page might not show real-time updates due to technical issues. Your package could be well on its way, but the tracking status remains unchanged.
And I suppose packages can get temporarily lost too, right? That would also keep the status stuck on item processed.
Right again. Though it's rare, packages can get misplaced or bundled incorrectly, delaying updates until Canada Post retrieves them. And during peak times, some scans might even be skipped to expedite the process.
So, if someone's package is stuck on item processed for days, what should they do? Just wait it out?
Waiting is one option, but there are proactive steps you can take. Retracking the package using third-party sites like ParcelSap or 17Track can sometimes provide more accurate updates. And if that doesn't work, contacting the sender can be a good move, especially if the package is past its estimated delivery date.
That's some solid advice, Jake. Keeping in touch with the sender can definitely help push things along. It's reassuring to know there are steps we can take instead of just waiting in the dark.
Absolutely, Emily, and that's what we're here for, to shed light on these postal mysteries and make the waiting game a little less frustrating.
It's fascinating to think about all the different factors that can affect a package's journey. The logistics behind it must be incredibly complex.
Absolutely, Emily. And it's worth noting that while these delays can be frustrating, they're often out of the hands of the individual postal workers. They're doing their best under sometimes challenging circumstances.
Right. It's a good reminder to have patience and empathy for those working to deliver our packages. But Jake, I'm curious, are there any tips for minimizing the chances of our packages getting stuck in the first place?
Great question. While there's no foolproof way to avoid delays entirely, there are a few strategies that might help. For one, Avoiding shipping during peak seasons, if possible, can reduce the risk of backlogs. Also, ensuring your package is properly labeled and packaged can prevent it from getting lost or delayed in sorting.
Those sound like practical steps we can all take, and it seems like being informed about the process helps manage expectations too. To our listeners, thank you for joining us today. Your stories and insights make Mailbox Corner a richer experience for everyone. We can't wait to hear from you.